Morning.
It's the way Singapore wakes up.
Wake up.
Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman.
Wake up in the morning feeling like
Kiss 92's Big Show.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show. Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman, and today we are very pleased to have with us Bruce Mathieu, who is a motivational speaker and a friend of ours.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in a while, Bruce.
Yep, not often enough, I should say. I know you're a very busy man, Glenn.
You are a very busy man, Bruce.
You are.
You are.
You're doing a lot of work.
Yeah, but Bruce, I mean, your work and Glenn's work is very, very different because you're out there, connecting with the people in a different way.
Yeah.
And giving motivational talks. How did you start with all that? Tell us your journey. A brief summary.
Brief, okay, as
And
brief
anyway,
as I
this is
can.
the first time you're meeting this beautiful
Yeah,
lady.
yeah,
Yeah,
also,
so I
right?
need to know your story.
Yeah.
Okay, I just turned 55. Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Bruce. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
We love singing happy birthday.
Yeah, we do. Any chance we get.
So, here I go. At the age of 13, I tried drugs for the first time and I fell in love with it. Thus, I suffered the consequences of my love affair with her for the next 30 years of my life. Been in prison 5 times. Combined sentence of approximately 20 years. Been given 21 strokes of the cane. I came out in 2016 after serving 5 years and 9 months. That was my last sentence. And during my last sentence, I asked myself, why do I keep on going in and out of prison, although I didn't like it? Realized what I was lacking in life and wanted to turn my life about. The next thing was I noticed that in prison, a lot of my peers had no hope. They felt that they were second-class citizens and this was their life, right? Prison was their life. When I came out, I wanted to tell my peers or let my peers know that, hey, no. All right, there's more to life than just prison. And that if other people can do it, so can you.
You said lacking in life. What were you lacking in life, you think?
So many things. Some people cry over the fact that they come from a broken family. They feel that they have not been given the opportunities in life like others do. And
You're a very strong individual, no, Bruce, I have to say. Because there are people who are not even in difficult situations like that who feel like they have no hope in life.
Life is done. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, can you imagine how what it takes for someone to get out of these difficult situations, like you mentioned,
The strength.
Bruce, the strength,
strength.
the
Yeah.
mental strength,
Yeah.
and which is why I mean you're important because there are so many people who are now in that situation who are also feeling really helpless.
Yeah.
The future is bleak.
Yeah.
They don't know whether they're going to get opportunities when they come out of prison. So I mean, it's good that they have someone who is experienced, like you, to actually give them, a ray of hope, so to speak.
And it looks like you found a purpose.
this is what I think. Hope and opportunities are aplenty out there in society. So the problem with many ex-offenders is this. They expect it to be handled to them on a silver platter. And I tell them, no, you have to go out and look for them yourselves. Most of them, they have this problem. Self-esteem. They have a very low self-esteem. They are afraid of rejection. But this is what I tell them. People, when you go out to look for jobs, there are bound to be people who will not accept you for who you are or where you have been. But it's okay. That is part and parcel of life. We first have to look at our own track record. Right? Like what I always tell them. If let's say you are a business owner and 2 people come for interview, right? One has a record, one does not have a record. Who will you hire? The one without the record. So I say it's the same, but it's okay. What you do is you move on, because I guarantee them that down the line there will be someone who will accept them, and it is with these people that you start a new community.
You keep knocking on the doors.
Yes. So the trick is to not remain stagnant and keep on moving.
All right. Today's
For
interview
sure.
is going to be about strength, perseverance, and also the need for wisdom. Stay tuned. We'll continue to talk to Bruce on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Andy Grammer with Magic on Kiss 92.
Okay, so we're still live on YouTube and Facebook. And so you got out in 2016. It's been 8 years, almost 9 years.
Yes.
What's that journey been like? I mean, like you talk about people getting rejected because they have records. You know, they've been in prison, they've done drugs, they've committed a crime, whatever it may be. But people get rejected even if they don't. You know, everyone goes through that. I know it's a lot harder for those that have a scar on their record. But what have you learned since you've come out? Almost 9 years.
Well, the journey has not been easy for me. We live in a meritocratic country where everything is based on merits. As such, when you have a prison record, when your education is not high, things tend to be a bit more difficult for you. But my question is this: just because it's difficult, are you telling me you give up? No. Nothing in life is easy. Nothing. If you really want something, then go look for it. Then fight for it. No one is going to just give it to you. Right? I think it's not only for ex-offenders, but everyone. Everyone. If you really want something bad enough, you will find a way to get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's very, very
That's
true.
true. So I don't know you. I mean, FD
Yes.
has known you for a while. Glenn has spoken to you before as well. But I saw you on an Instagram video. Happened to pop up on my feed.
Ooh,
It
happened
was
to-
suggested.
wow.
Yeah, it was suggested to follow. But you were talking about KPods. Tell us more about KPods, because before that, none of us had heard
Yeah.
about it, and it was in the news the next day as well.
So KPods is the latest drug menace in Singapore. Just to make $1, you know how drug traffickers can be very unscrupulous, right? So they've came up with a method of selling drugs to people that are non-descriptive. So much so that they could smoke it anywhere they like.
So it's open to everyone, basically.
So what happens is, I think all of you know what is a vape.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a vaporizer, and then you have those disposable pods.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. What's a disposable pod? As in, like, it's also a vape? is
Okay,
it?
it's a vape.
It's
How
the
do I
stuff that
explain?
you insert.
You
it's like
insert
the,
into
the
the-
cartridges.
It's
the cartridges.
like a cartridge.
Oh.
Look
Correct,
at
the
it.
cartridge that you insert.
The
into-
refillables, yeah.
Yes, the refillables, the cartridge that you insert into the vaporizer and you smoke it. So these disposable pods could easily be opened, and instead of the nicotine juice or whatever they put inside,
Right.
they replace it with some other thing. And this thing happens to be etomidate.
Etomide, yeah.
So etomidate is a kind of anesthesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had gotten this information by Googling it up. What is etomidate? And it came out, it's an anesthesia that people use.
For some non-surgical procedures
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how did you get, like, information that, KPods was being circulated now? Because, I mean, we didn't get that in the news anyway. We heard it
Yeah.
from you, actually.
Glenn, you don't belong to my world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I may not be doing drugs and mixing around with the wrong people, but I still do have to be with these people because of my
Yeah.
ministry, because of the things that I do.
Right.
And we do hear things. Also, parents have reached out to me. Initially, I didn't know what K-Pods was. I thought, what are you talking about? Is this a Korean pop group or something?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we
Everyone's
thought.
thought,
That's
yeah.
what we thought, yeah.
Until I start hearing about K-Pods, the dangers, hey, I have this friend oh, you're gonna K-pod already, start doing this, start doing that. So I was like, huh?
It's
What is
like a
that?
hallucinogenic, is it?
Okay,
It's like ecstasy.
What does it do to you?
so everyone has been to dental surgery, right?
Yes.
And you know what
Yeah.
happens when they give you anesthesia?
It
You've seen
numbs
video clips of it.
the area.
How people make a fool of themselves. They start asking them questions and they reveal certain things.
Oh no, I haven't seen those,
Yeah,
but
so,
okay.
So those are stronger
Doses.
Itomide is a very light dose. But no matter how light it still creates a sort of hallucination.
Oh.
I guess it depends how strong a person is, right?
Yeah.
It affects different people differently. What I know is that when you take Itomide, you get loss of strength in your limbs.
Wow.
You can't talk properly, loss of motor functions, and the worst one of all, hallucinating, and you might even get suicidal tendencies.
But all that is not shock.
Wow.
Right? Usually when people take drugs, it's like they want to feel shock.
I think it's the loss of use
yes,
of your
you
limbs.
sort of
you know,
float.
yeah.
So this is the thing. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to some of them. Why people are still willing to take the risk is because Itomide is not illegal.
Oh.
Yes.
it's an
under the-
anesthetic.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
under the Poisons Act. So as such, police cannot arrest them.
Oh no, really?
What?
But then
Yeah.
they can arrest you for smoking a vape.
If you are selling it, they can arrest you and fine you under the Poisons Act, but not under the
Drug
Drug
Act.
Act.
Oh.
And is this addictive?
Wow.
Or is it just... I don't know.
No, but I think if correct me if I'm wrong, you're addicted to the way it makes
Like
you
when
feel,
someone
right?
smokes a
Yes.
cigarette, right? They say nicotine is
Addictive.
addictive.
Yeah.
So is it that kind of addictiveness, or is it more?
I'm not particularly concerned about physical addiction because I know, given enough time, anyone can wean off physical addiction. What I'm concerned about is the mental
neurologic-
addiction.
oh.
Yeah, which can happen the very first time you try anything, any drug, just like myself. You know, in society, a lot of people say weed is not a gateway drug, right? But I beg to differ because it happened to me, and a lot of people I know in prison.
That's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. So it's the same with this K-pop thingy, right? Youths and teens, young adults, they're doing it, one, because, hey, what can you do about it? You know? They are emboldened. They even challenge their parents, challenge authorities, right? Because they know for the simple fact, you can't do anything.
Right. Okay, we're going back on air.
I can't stop comparing myself, 'cause I always feel I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Tuas at the Jurong East Avenue 1 exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on the BKE towards the PIE right before the Dairy Farm Road exit, a stationary vehicle has been spotted. If you see anything else that's worth sharing, 8855-0920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is motivational speaker Bruce Mathieu, and we're talking about vapes and KPods. Now, before we go into what we spoke about off air just now, Bruce, what do you think about vapes? I mean, we are doing everything we possibly can in the country to catch people with vapes. Because it's been banned, not just here in Singapore, but around the world. The main concern being we don't know what's in a vape. So you have two types of vapes, right? One is the disposable vape, okay, where you just buy one and then after about like 200 puffs or something like that, or 2,000 puffs
whatever it is.
or whatever, you throw it away.
Yeah.
And then you have the refillable vapes, which we were talking about earlier with Bruce, because now these refillable vapes, right? That's where the K-pods come in.
Yeah,
And then
because
what
the cartridges
oh,
can
no,
be-
Wait, hold on, Bruce.
So the refillables are actually disposable pods also.
The refills are disposable.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
an ink
Yeah.
cartridge,
Like
you
an
know?
ink-
So it's refillable vapes.
Vapes.
that you're
Yes,
talking
that's
about.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
refillable.
So what happened is the bottom of the pods could easily be open, and like what you said, Glenn, you don't know what is put into it.
Yeah, that's what we've been told, right? And that's
Yeah.
why.
I mean, who is looking at what they're doing? I give you an example: cough mixture. All right, it's still a problem out there. Traffickers, they will sell their bottle of cough mixture. Okay, there's two sorts. One is the diluted form. One is the purer form.
Okay.
So diluted form, of course, is cheaper. But what is placed inside, besides water, you don't know. So I know of this dude in prison. The funny thing was, he had taken cough mixture, and he knew that police cannot do anything about it, right? So when police tried to spot check him and arrest, he actually challenged the police, and they brought him back for urine tests. And guess what? He tested positive for meth.
Oh, because they had
meth.
put meth in the
Wow.
bottle, right?
So it may not be meth, but you know when people smoke meth, they use a bong
Yeah.
and then the water.
Yeah.
So my take is they must have just poured the water in.
And it may have made it even cheaper than providing whatever it was in
Yeah,
the
but
cough mixture.
Yeah, but the water would have been tainted with the meth because the water had come from a bong.
Wow.
see,
I
so
definitely
the water
saw
is
that
tainted.
on Breaking Bad, actually.
There you
so-
go.
Oh,
You
did you?
see.
So
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
etomidate, which is an anesthetic that we understand is used in some non-surgical procedures, I'm trying to understand where along the line of the production of the cartridges of the vape to the sale to the people on the streets in Singapore, wherever it is, do these cartridges get injected or inserted with this antiseptic?
Your guess is as good as mine. Right. Obviously, it's not from Singapore. It's from across the border.
Yeah.
And there's no QC, on
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
They say that they put Itomide or
Yeah.
but they could easily put anything inside.
It could be meth, like you said.
Yeah,
it could be
Could
anything.
be meth, could be something. It could even be water. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, like I mean, there's a massive ring going around with also tainted alcohol. I mean, we've seen it in Laos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recently, just yesterday or the day
Deaths.
before, in Fiji,
Yes.
12 people at a luxury hotel because they drank a cocktail. So what people are doing is they're opening up bottles of, say, vodka and pouring other stuff in it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's stuff that you can't see and you don't
This
know
is
what's
scary
in
for
it.
someone like me who loves my drinks.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this is scary for someone like me who deals with people with addiction problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like what FD said earlier, when you take drugs, what you want is to experience the high,
Yeah.
right? But with KPods, when you take, that might possibly be the last time you ever take drugs. Because what if after you take this KPods, your suicidal tendencies come up? It happened before.
Yeah.
Some people jumped.
All it takes is one time.
Okay, everyone, please stop vaping. I know there's still some people vaping right
And
now.
listen to this. KPods. When you smoke, you start puffing away, you get that high. The high doesn't last very long. Probably 3 to 5 minutes. And then you're wondering, hey, once the high is gone,
You want to smoke more?
you want to smoke more. Someone told me his friend went through 10 pods in a day. In one day.
Just to keep that feeling going.
Yeah, just to keep that high going on.
Right.
And each pot costs about $50 to $70.
Wow.
Oh
ridiculous.
my goodness. Okay, let's continue to talk to Bruce on the Big Show TV. It is 8:23.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
This is scary.
It's scary.
crazy.
Bruce, what should parents be looking out
Yeah, I
for?
was going to ask.
When it comes to this.
Okay, not that we want to make all you parents,
Panic.
worry even more.
No,
I
but
know you've got a lot on your plate
But
already.
you need to-
yeah, you need to be aware.
You
I
need to be
guess.
aware.
You need to be aware of what to look out for.
Yeah,
Like, what are the signs in your child, or your teen?
When a parent sees any change, drastic change in their child, okay, that is a good sign that, hey, you're not paying enough attention to your child. Right? You see your child locking himself in his room, becoming more aggressive in nature, right? Can't speak properly, slurring. These are signs that, something is not right. But what I'm trying to say is, why are kids going into this in the first place? Are parents paying enough attention? Something must be lacking for the kids. That's why they tell themselves, hey, I'm too bored,
Yeah. Or
And
maybe
the
they're stressed.
And the access is a lot easier now.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I
easier
mean?
to
With
get.
your telegrams, your WhatsApps, your social media and all, it's a lot easier to get the stuff.
Yeah.
You're like shopping on Shopee.
Yeah.
One click and you have it
Yeah.
delivered in an envelope or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because it's an e-cigarette, right? It's
Yeah.
small. And it's small enough to hide. There's no smell,
Yeah.
right? It is scary.
I'm actually quite surprised that, that it's still happening right now. People
What?
are still able to get, these things, their vapes.
Yeah.
And, because I think there was an island-wide...
Raid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an island-wide operation.
Not one, many.
Many. And still people are
Yeah.
vaping. Some openly.
The
Yeah, some
reason is
openly, yes.
Those are idiots.
Hey, this is true. I've seen
Those are
people
idiots.
walking down
Really?
Orchard Road,
Yeah.
vaping.
You
You
It's
still
idiots.
see, right,
It's
once in a
crazy.
while, even in the
Yeah.
open.
I've seen someone vaping in an MRT. I was like, what?
Yeah, idiots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a young girl.
Oh dear.
Seriously. I was like,
Like
what
why?
are you thinking?
You're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, to your question, isn't it obvious? When there's money to be made,
Yes.
right? Our government, honestly, they're doing a very good job. They're trying their best to cover any loopholes that they can find.
Yeah.
But when one is covered, you can bet
Another-
traffickers will find
Yeah.
another one or two.
Yeah.
For every head of the snake you cut off, 10 come up.
Yeah. And when there's a demand, there will always be a supply, no
Yeah.
matter what.
The money is just too good
Yeah.
to give up. If it ain't good, you think people are willing to put their neck on the chopping board for this.
It's very sad.
So do you think our laws should... we should have even tougher laws against
You don't think
people who sell vapes?
Oh.
you don't think
Oh,
having the death
vapes.
penalty is tough enough?
Oh, but
But
that
no,
one is
no,
what?
no,
that's
Vapes?
fine.
Drugs. No,
Drugs.
we're talking vapes. here.
Drugs? Yeah.
So, I have many people asking me, Bruce, why isn't our government doing anything? Why isn't CMB doing anything? Who says they are not? Because what they have to understand is that this isn't illegal, Itomide. It is something that's legal. In order to ban this, there are a lot of things to consider. Legal ramifications,
Doctors use
Doctors
Exactly.
use
Yeah.
it, yeah.
It's not as easy as what people think. Oh, it's illegal. People are abusing it, so we ban it. It's not like that.
It's just like codeine and cough mixture
Yes.
as well, right?
Yes.
But the solution here is just to ban vapes, lah. Because I mean,
They have
technically,
banned
vapes. But
vapes are
vapes
banned.
are banned.
if you ban vapes, then this whole KPods thing, will be settled.
But
so
vapes
now
are
we
banned.
need, now we need to think of a way to make the penalty harsher,
Harsher.
so that people will be afraid of even possessing a vape.
I mean, but you would think, right? As long as I see you smoking a vape, it's a $2,000 fine. There's no warning. You would
If
think,
someone is there to catch you.
yeah, I know, but you would think that was harsh enough. I just have to see you smoking it. You know what I mean? And it's $2,000. No warning. No excuses. I think that's pretty
They even
harsh.
have enforcers going to people's home now.
Oh, for vapes?
For vapes,
Yep,
yeah.
if they suspect or any
What,
complaints
that
were
you
made.
are smoking a vape?
Yeah, possessing
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have an idea.
What's your idea?
So, you guys will just say death penalty and all that.
No,
But-
we won't. Hello, not for vapes.
They,
No, he will. He will.
Don't.
Everything is a death penalty. Everything.
No, no.
Look, I have many witnesses here.
No, don't count me as a witness. No,
Just
no,
the
no.
other day, he
No,
said it.
stop
What?
it. Okay, anyway,
Said
you were
something,
saying-
how to ban this? Death penalty.
You have
I'm
an
like,
idea.
Oh
Go.
my goodness.
Go with your idea.
Okay, so I'm thinking.
usual.
All right, a year in jail,
For vaping?
or okay, 6 months in jail or whatever. Once you mention jail,
Once you put a jail
it's like someone comes up to you and catches you with a vape. You
No
go
excuse.
in. Okay, maybe a few weeks lah.
says who?
Huh?
Nope. I disagree with you, Glenn.
Okay.
You don't
I
think
disag-
that's the way?
You think punishment is the way to scare people? What you're trying to do is use the scare tactic.
Okay.
But what you have to understand is putting people in prison and then trying to make them change.
That's not-
When they come out and then they commit again, what you do is you put them in for a longer period. That doesn't help because it only makes their heart harden.
So what do you think would help? I mean, you have experience. You've gone in 5 times, you said.
Yes.
What would have been a better
So
solution?
if, like what I always say, if you have a problem and you go and see a doctor, in order for that patient to be cured, he must be properly diagnosed and prescribed, medication prescribed,
Right.
right? So punishment in itself is not enough. There must be rehabilitation, counseling, make that person understand.
Right. But I mean, I'm not talking about like hardcore addicts because I mean, you talk about vapes.
1 year.
I'm just saying I'm just saying like I'm putting myself in the situation, right? Okay, so I have an opportunity to vape, let's say, but then in my mind, let's say if we're going with the $2,000 fine for me to try $2,000, okay, chances are I'm not going to get caught anyway. And then you have the possibility of if someone catches you with a vape, you go to jail. I will drop the vape straight away.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, instead of
You know
the
what I mean?
fine.
Okay,
put
wait,
it-
okay, going on here.
나는 원하지 않아 널 사랑하다 그거면 돼 Baby, baby, yeah, baby, baby, yeah 17 DJ Khaled Another one
Kiss 92 traffic.
It's peak hour traffic because it is 8:30, but also on the PIE, look out heading towards Tuas at the Jurong East Avenue 1 exit. A vehicle's having some trouble there. Wherever you are this midweek, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Once again, thank you so much, Bruce Mathieu, for coming in this morning and opening our eyes a little bit about this KPod phenomenon that's happening right now. This, of course, linked with vapes. And off the air on The Big Show TV, we were talking about how we can deter more people from buying vapes, although it's been banned.
It's banned
already. So we're still discussing. And what do you think, Bruce? How can we stop people from buying vapes?
Okay, just to continue what you were saying earlier on.
Okay.
Punishment in itself is not the solution. Personally, I think knowledge is the key to everything. Right?
Educating.
Awareness,
Educating,
yeah,
yes,
for sure.
awareness. First, you educate the public about the dangers of vaping, of KPods, and then once you have educated them, the ball is in their court. What they want to do with their life, what they want to do with this knowledge is entirely up to them. So that means take ownership, right? Because a lot of people, or most of them on the outside, they may know what the dangers of KPods are, or they might know, but they don't fully understand how dangerous it is, right? There were 2 deaths that I know that happened out of smoking KPods, right? But of course, in the newspaper, it's not going to be advertised that way.
Not sensationalized.
Not
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
sensationalized, yeah.
But if you think about it, if you tell drug addicts, there's people are abusing drugs. Hey, are you sure you're going to try these drugs? Because, when we try drugs, we want the high. All I want is the high. But if you try this might possibly be your last time,
Wow. Okay. That is scary.
That is scary. Because I sat down and I pondered, why do I take drugs? Because of this. But if I were to take it and this might possibly be my last time because I might do stupid things, I would be scared shitless.
But there are also some people who will sit there and go, you know what? Yeah, it's a small percentage. It's not going to happen to me. I'm going to take that risk because I want that high.
You have
Then-
got to
You
want
know?
to be rehabilitated.
I mean, of course, the person must want to have that change. Because
Yeah,
if
of
he
course,
does not
yeah.
want to, then
It's not going to happen.
Everything is off the table.
Yeah, it's off the table.
Yeah.
Because it is a mind over matter. Would you say it's a mind over matter? Because
With addiction, no.
no.
Society thinks that, hey, when there's a will, there's a way. You know, you've been in prison so long. You come out inside, you don't take drugs, what? What do you
So
come
you
out, what do
can
you
do
start
it,
again? What they don't understand is addiction is very different. It's not as easy as they say. Because when someone has been addicted to drugs for a long time, their entire brain is rewired in a certain way. Their pleasure pathways, everything is so different. Like normally for you guys, for example, if you were to play sports, you get a dose of
Dopamine, yeah.
right? Which gives you that pleasure. But for someone who has been taking drugs and their dopamine hit is like 1-200 times or even 1,000 times more than your normal dose, the normal things in life don't do anything for them. And as such, their body will
It's used to that.
keep telling them,
Yeah.
hey, go and look for it. Go and look for it.
Wow.
So how
Yeah.
do you overcome that? It's not so easy said than done, you know.
Yeah.
True. Okay, let's continue to talk to Bruce on the Big Show TV. Okay, meantime, here's Jennifer Lopez. Wow, haven't heard from Jennifer Lopez in a long time. This is Get Right on Kiss 92. I guess we all have our addictions.
Absolutely.
Just,
Absolutely.
Some addictions are okay, acceptable. Some addictions are not.
We spoke. I can't remember his name, but we spoke to an ex drug addict as well,
yeah,
not
right.
too long ago. We are still on air.
Yeah.
We're still on air. And he said the one thing about someone coming out of prison after doing some time is to stay away from that same community. Is to not have those triggers anymore.
That is the very first thing they have to do. All right, because when they come out, they go back to the same group of friends. If they choose to swim in the sea,
They're going to drown.
they're going to be beaten by sharks sooner or
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
It's not about the 99 times that they can resist, but it's about that one time that they cannot.
Cannot.
And I tell you, that one time will come when they least expect it.
Is that what happened to you when you came out after the first time?
No, first time it came out, I flagged a taxi, I went to my supplier.
Straight away.
Oh
Straight
my goodness! So
away.
it was
See what I
all
mean?
you. It was
Yeah.
all you.
It was all me. The third time, that one was different. I had a business at Shenton Way, 5 Square, own a F&B business. Worked my ass off from 8 in the morning to 10 at night. Very tired, no time to party, no time for anything. One day during off-peak, after lunch, I went behind my shop to R&R, have a cigarette, and lo and behold, I saw someone whom should not be there.
Oh my goodness.
One Malay guy wearing a shorts and t-shirt. I saw him. I called him. I said, hey, what are you doing here?
You knew him,
Of course.
obviously. Yeah.
So he said, oh, tak ada lah. Oh, sorry. No,
No,
Malay
it's
lah.
okay.
Okay.
It's all right. It's
Tak ada
okay.
lah,
okay.
aku dekat sini nak bawa barang kasi kawan aku customer aku Nak
Oh,
kerja tak boleh, tak
wow.
boleh
Right.
turun.
So he was a supplier.
He was a supplier. And then he looked at me. They call me Amokian. Mak Saleh, kau apa pasal? Sekarang ada tak? I said, no, I've stopped.
Yeah.
Macam nak. Wow, when he said nak,
straight away.
that was when my heart
Oh,
started
wow.
wow. And I did the stupidest thing I could.
You said yes.
You know your brain has this way of lying to you,
Yeah.
of giving you excuses and reasons for things you want to do and you know that you cannot do.
Right.
So it happened to me that day. So my brain started telling me, Bruce, you don't have time to R&R. You're so tired all the
Shit.
time. Just take that one straw. It's okay. And that time was heroin.
Oh wow.
So I told myself,
Oh.
just that one time. I bought a straw from him, and as I was walking away, he called to me. Hey, I'm okay. Take my number down, just in
Oh,
case.
no.
Aye.
I did the second stupidest thing. I took his number down, and within 3 months, I got arrested.
Right. Because that gave you access. Anytime
Exactly.
you felt like it or you wanted something,
I got
you
I
give him
got
a call.
hooked back to heroin less than a month. I was hooked
Wow.
again.
And your business?
Business carried on. My mom and my girlfriend then they
Took
carried on.
over.
They
doing-
carried on.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I mean, I can't begin to imagine what it's like, to be addicted like that.
I mean,
You know?
okay, on a completely different level. I know it's no comparison whatsoever, but it's almost like when you're on a diet and you tell yourself you really, really cannot eat that, and you just tell yourself just that one, and then you carry on with that two. I know, again, it's no comparison to the complexity and the severity of a drug addiction, but because we have never gone through something like that, we can only just try and imagine how difficult it must be. And your fifth time, your final time, what was the straw that told you, this is it, I am done, and it's been 9 years?
It was during one of the visits I had in my last incarceration. On that visit, my daughter came. It was her birthday. So mother had bought her a brand new dress. She came in smiling, happy.
How old was she?
She was 4. She turned 4.
So,
Yeah. She was so happy she could see her father on the day. She was posing for me, sang her birthday song, and after the song, she said those words that never in a million years would I think that she would say. And she said, "Dada, carry."
oh,
No.
And that really did it for me. It broke my heart. Yeah. And I told myself, if I don't stop whatever I'm doing, history is going to repeat itself again. And my exact words to myself that day was, I don't think my heart can take it one more time. She's 15 now. She's growing up good, well, pretty. I mean, looking at her father,
of
she's
course,
gonna be pretty.
well, congratulations on
Thanks.
being clean for 9 years or more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she is, yeah,
headstrong.
she is. She might be. You might think that she's a quiet sort, but I see a lot of her in me. On the good side, not the bad side. Yeah.
So it must be hard being a motivational speaker, because every time people ask you questions. like how
Yeah.
Angel's been asking you all these questions
tell
to
the
get to know
story.
you a little bit more. Every time you tell the story, every time you talk about drugs, because we've spoken to some some ex-offenders who are also into drugs, and they say that sometimes when they talk about it, they can almost feel it at the back of their
They
throats.
can almost taste it.
Yeah. So it must be difficult sometimes.
There are always two sides to a coin. You can look at it like what those people you spoke to, as a form of trigger, but it can also be a reminder to not do it again, because there are consequences to our actions.
Right.
Right. A lot of ex, when they come out, they forget about what happened to them in prison, all the suffering that they had to go through, and especially for their families too. All right, families have to suffer on their behalf unnecessarily,
Yeah.
because drug abuse is not victimless. More often than not, the people that are closest to us
Get
suffer
affected.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, did your parents kind of like emphasize on that, like don't take drugs? Or
That is
Yeah.
the problem.
What was
Is it?
your
That is the
childhood
big
like?
problem. I grew up in a single parent family.
Okay.
It was always my mum. My mum passed away last year.
No,
She
sorry.
was
Sorry
my
to hear
biggest
that.
supporter. Right. I think like all traditional Chinese family, she always say this. What can I say, ah? That means I tell you, you better not touch drugs.
She did tell you
Right.
that before you even started
but
on
in
it.
Chinese, for the rest of us, it was
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on air and talk about
Let's
this.
talk about this. Yeah.
Kiss 92 Traffic.
Yes, be an optimist. That's a
Absolutely.
good song by Crash Adam.
It
Yeah.
is a very good song. Looking at the roads on the AYE towards the MCE before the Benoy Road exit, causing a bit of backup to the PIE exit is an accident taking up space in lane 1. If you see anything else or you have an update on that situation, our number is 88550920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Bruce Mathieu is our guest for this morning. He is a motivational speaker. He got involved in drugs along the way, and you know, he's doing really, really well right now. Speaking of optimists, are you an optimist?
Of course I am.
Yes.
And speaking of you getting involved in drugs along the way, it was a very early journey for you. 14, you said?
13.
13. And we were just on The Big Show TV talking about your childhood. You grew up in a single parent household with your mom, your Chinese mom.
Yes.
And where along the way, I mean, you were 13 going into secondary school, right? Oh, you were already in secondary school. How did it happen? I'm sure your mom, a great woman as she was, tried to steer you away from, you know, falling into bad company. But how did it all
And if I may
work
add,
out?
Bruce, you and I are about the same age,
Yeah.
and it was during that time, like in the, I think maybe
Early
late
80s,
70s,
late
early
70s,
80s,
yeah.
where the emphasis was don't do drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right?
Exactly.
So our parents must have warned us many, many times.
Do you remember the corny advertisement on drug campaigns that they had on television, where you see someone, you know, holding a syringe,
Yes, yes,
injecting
I remember
themselves,
that.
and then the whole thing spinning? That was horrible. Back then, I guess the only drug education, preventive drug education that parents did was don't take drugs. Don't take drugs.
Don't even try.
Yes.
Yeah.
But kids are curious.
It's not enough to point a
Exactly.
finger. Yeah.
Kids are curious. By nature, kids are curious. So why? And if you don't tell them the reason why, they would go and find out for themselves. Right? Kids, whenever parents tell kids, don't do,
You want to
kids will
rebel.
want to go and do.
Yeah.
Right.
I spoke to I was counseling this boy in NUS, early 20s. So I asked him, when do you start smoking? And this is what he told me. He said in his teens he had never thought about smoking. Never. Until one day, out of the blue, out of nowhere, his mom just came up and said, I tell you, you better not learn to smoke.
Oh.
And that was it. Because he started thinking to himself,
Why?
why is mommy telling me not to smoke? I see a lot of people smoking.
Yeah.
It's
Seems
not
okay,
illegal.
yeah.
Yeah. So why do people want to smoke? What does it do for them? And it was because of that he started smoking. And then one thing led to another, from cigarettes
To
to
other stuff.
KPods.
So literally, curiosity killed the cat.
Exactly.
It's interesting that you talk about the ad that you remember from when you were a teenager with the needle. I don't remember this ad, but if you think about it now, that scared you. Seeing that ad, no, you were kind of
No.
like
No, what
no,
he's trying to say is that ad didn't do anything for
It
him.
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Because it looked.
Exaggerated.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like now with social media, and that's exactly how we found out about KPods through your social media, it can be used for so much more. Everyone's on their phones. You know, more ads and more content about how bad drugs are and how bad these KPods are should be out there.
So, social media, there are two sides to it, of course. It can be there for good.
Of course, yeah.
It can also be there and do a lot of bad. What I posted out, there were some, there are lots of keyboard warriors. I call them keyboard warriors, who refuse to reveal how they look, who they are, but they have a lot of things to say. No, Bruce, you're talking nonsense, you're doing this, you're doing that, you don't know. So if I don't know,
Who
I
does?
told one of them off,
Yeah.
then you please educate me.
Yeah.
It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. Educate me. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to learn. Right?
Yeah,
No response.
But nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Well, Bruce, we got to leave it there. We could go on for another hour or
Yeah, we
so,
could.
but please continue to do the good work that you've been doing. And everyone, please follow Bruce on his Instagram. It is Bruce Mathieu _SG. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bruce Mathieu _SG. We'll be in touch with you. If we've got any questions, we'll ask you and perhaps invite you on the show once again. Always a pleasure having you on the show, Bruce.
Always
Thank
glad
you,
to be here.
Bruce.
Thank you so much. All right, up next, Tate McRae. Oh, man. I've been watching lots of Tate McRae music videos, I have to say. She's my new favorite.
Okay, fantastic.
Step aside, Dua Lipa. Tate McRae is the one right now. Here's Greedy on Kiss 92.